All right, we're live.
Let it rip, Clem.
We are live. We are chilling. We may have lost, Wednesday night down in Atlanta, but everything is all right. We are Blue Mountain Chill right now because we are drinking our Coors Lights, the beer that's made the chill, the one that's presenting this podcast, the official beer of the New York Mets, all that good stuff. And boys, we just took 2 out of 3 in Atlanta with, a team full of, the bench guys are oh, thank God our bench is up now. And then it's like, oh, the AAA guys are up. All right, we'll see what they can do now. That's where we are as Mets fans. The bullpen? Oh, all right, the bullpen is in the game. Everything's going to be fine. That's how you know we are chilling out. And we're chilling out thanks to our friends at Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. We say this all the time. Cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's literally made to chill. Coors Light is the one I choose when I need to unwind. So when you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart. The Mets season is here. And be sure to show us on Twitter that you're tuned in with Coors Light. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I don't know if you boys saw this. The new cans, they got the sunglasses back, and it says chill in blue when it's like cold enough. That is my life as a Mets fan right now. I am chill. I'm basically attacking anyone. The first time I see a negative tweet, boom, I'm shooting them out of the sky. No bueno. We're nothing but positive right now. Positive vibes only. We're chill.
I can't wait for summer to really hit. Like having some chill Coors Light in the summer. If we're on a roll, if we keep this going, if we get near clinch, can you imagine like if we're in magic number territory? Oh man, I'm getting ahead of myself. But it's just like, let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive right now. There's a lot of negativity out there despite, we're trying to sweep a division rival, stay in first place. What was it? I think it's 8-12 now. It's going to be 9-12. Come on. I mean,
how can you be negative at all? We just had 2 bullpen games against the three-peat NL East champions, and we took 2 out of 3 in those
who's
two.
being negative?
Together.
Mets fans.
No, we're just saying we're chill. We're chill right now. Our Coors Lights have us chill. So we're saying anyone that is negative, we're just shooting them out of the sky and saying they're out of here. Fuck you. And it's all the positive. It's a big positive bandwagon. Because look,
how can you not be?
There's nothing
14 guys are out and we're still winning baseball games.
14 guys are out. We're dead. Can you imagine if this is the Wilpon era and there was just nothing but just sadness in the future, no positivity? We would have lost all these games, by the way.
And nobody besides Jonathan Villar do I actually feel is really playing well. There's a bright spots here and there, but I'm not just overwhelmed by any one guy too. It's all like a team effort and it's like a B squad effort. Khalil Lee is going to strike out literally every time he walks to the plate, hardly even swing. He's going to make some amazing catches, amazing plays. But dude, did he strike out? Did he get a non-strikeout out? He opened his career with 8 strikeouts.
It's all strikeout. And people are asking the record, and I honestly don't even. I have to look at most strikeouts to start a career because we are going to go into that territory. But then it's what's also looking for most games in a row where you have a game save because he's going to set that record too apparently, and he has the swagger record with the black fucking diamond. I don't even know what that is. It could be shit you get out of a quarter machine for all I know, but it looks fucking awesome.
And Gary makes me think he's going to hit bombs. He keeps talking about they're just he's not even that big a guy, but everyone expects massive power from him. I'm like, okay, because he's also, I think he struck out looking every time. He doesn't know what's happening out there. So keep making those catches, boy.
I'm telling you, he just needs a shorter bat. It's such an old man dad thing to say. He just needs. I said it. If you go back to we were watching the spring training game, and I was like, oh, here's Khalil up a bat, and I saw that long swing and that. That bat. I remember my dad used to play softball, and I was a 10-year-old swinging it, and I just be it'd take me an hour and a half to swing it. That's Khalil Lee with the bat. He cannot bat. I will be the first.
It's when you're going from little league and you finally get the bigger one.
Yeah, exactly, and. Oh God! So I'm trying to look here. I don't have if anyone knows the record for most strikeouts to start a career, I feel like we're going to be dabbling in that. But hey, next year we just DH them. We bat the pitcher because our pitchers get on base whenever the fuck they want, even the relievers, and everything's going to work out just fine. So, Khalil Lee is here to stay. Shout out to the Khalil Lee fan club. We're battling every single day on Twitter.
When Khalil Lee is one of your better call-ups at the moment, when he's one of the more recognizable names, we're calling anybody and fucking everybody up at the moment. Cameron Maybin, do you know how dirty it is to tell people that it was $1? Just not necessary, man. Say cash considerations. you can say that they didn't want to block him and just you don't have to say you got me for a single doll hair. It's just not nice. It's not nice. I'm walking the halls with Rico. I run into Rico and he's like, what are the Mets doing in like Maben? Like, it was gonna be like a fourth or fifth outfielder. I was like, bro, he's gonna start and be like leadoff. I mean, we are ravaged right now. These guys.
He's the third hitter.
I am number 3.
It is absolutely nuts. That's why that loss last night or a couple nights ago, the 5-4 loss, the final game of the Braves series, like it hurt so much more because we were there and ready to sweep with our absolute garbage squad that whole series. I mean, if that team can win, then the Mets' real team can. This series, this week, with all of our injuries, while everybody else has been down about the injuries, my confidence is through the roof. Assuming that these guys get healthy. If they all stay injured and they're all long-term injuries, we're fucked. But if the pitching is good enough and the bench mob is good enough that the B squad, C squad, D squad can win, when that A squad gets together and starts clicking, and when Major League Baseball gets a whole new bucket of balls and rolls them out, because the cat is officially out of the bag on this one, and the whole fucking world knows that it's all about the balls. Once all that happens, this team is going to be a monster. Because if you're winning with Joan Shui Fargus and Khalil Lee and Aaron Maben and the gang, as long as Tomas Nito's in the lineup, man, as long as he's still there, man. Tomas Bonds, he's a fucking monster. I love the bench mob is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I love this team.
It's hard not to love a team like what's that?
I don't even want to get healthy. I want to just play with the bench mob the whole time. I love these guys.
There's two things. Like, baseball fans will love the guys that either like came up through the system and are good. You just like inherently love your prospects when they like even like they don't have to pan out to be stars, but you just like love those guys. And then like the bench guys that like has the big hit or like makes a good defensive play, like you just gravitate towards them because they're not the ones making the millions of dollars. If Francisco Lindor was just this late hitting shortstop we never heard of, we'd be like, all right, he has wacky hair and he gets his hits here and there and plays a great glove. But obviously, the expectations completely change it. That's the most fucked up thing about all this is that all the injuries, all these guys getting hurt, they're like the guys who were producing. J.D. Davis, Nimmo, McNeil. Good Fundies had this one. According to Fangraph's depth chart, the Mets are missing their 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th best position players, Conforto, McNeil, Nimmo, and Davis. And their 1st, 2nd, 4th starters, obviously Carrasco, DeGrom, Taiwan Walker's on the DL. We're not even mentioning Thor, who could be our 2, all things, if everything was right. And their 3rd best reliever, 4 out of the 5 bench players. And let's just say this, and even Pete got hurt last night, right? He was unavailable. The only guys who are available are the guys who sucked the first month of the season. Like, we can't even get the good guys. It's Dom, who's struggled, right? Lindor and fucking McCann.
I mean, they have like an entire team on the DL. It's unbelievable. Like, we're going to get an entire new fucking team when everybody is back, God willing, if they are. Like, I something has happened to me. I really think Cohen has just, like, infiltrated my brain. Everything's a positive. Like, me, all these injuries, I'm like, can you imagine what's going to happen when they get healthy? Like, everything, even losses, I'm like, well, the fact that we were even in it, everything to me is Lindor. I said this last night to my mom. I would rather Lindor be batting a $190 right now because to me, that's a sign that he's in an awful slump. Like Francisco Lindor is not going to bat a $190 for the rest of his life. If he was batting like 235, I might be like, oh, I don't know. Maybe this is just like the Lindor that we've gotten for the season. He's just not that great this year. Under the Mendoza line has to change. So I almost think they're so injured. And certain guys are playing so bad that I'm like, this is good. This is a good thing. I don't know what's happened to me, man. I don't know.
How long do we let Lindor get away with literal clown hair? I mean, the green, you look like that's a wig that you bought at like a Halloween store. You look like a clown, and I don't know how much longer you can get away with it.
I care when he does it. You can't do it in the middle of the win streak, like we said. And I don't think you can be like debuting your new green hair when you're like an automatic out. Although, like his boy Khalil Lee, that they keep flashing the leather, and I'm okay with it. But I mean, the hair is reserved for
He looks
gotta
like the
be
meme where, the guy slowly paints himself and becomes a clown at the end of that's the color of his hair. I dude, and different colors are fine, but you literally look like a clown.
I mean,
It's
you
like,
got to do it before like the Philly series, where like you're taking the Fanatic scalp. Like then it would be cool.
Sure. Yeah,
Like,
I
turn
like.
him
I
into
like
Cohen.
that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need like a graphic that has Lindor hair color, kind of like Skinny Familia and Fat Familia. We need like right now, Francisco Lindor has he should have like black hair. He should have like brown, regular ass fucking hair. And then as he heats up, like, okay, now, if you're batting like 400 over the last, 15 games, you can put your green hair on. Then now you can dye your hair. Right now, you're not green hair worthy right now, Francisco. So
We're gonna have
waiting for him. Like, when is it gonna happen? I thought it was about to happen when he hit that home run and the raccoon and everything, and then he just went right back to just automatic ground ball outs. But it's got to happen soon, right?
in the locker room. We need to put like a little tray. Francisco Lindor has to put his hair dye. Khalil Lee has to put his black diamond chain. McCann just can't have a number anymore. He just loses his number. He loses 33. He puts 33 in there. And then when you guys actually start hitting, because listen, all three of those guys have made huge plays on defense, which I love. Yeah. So they get the jersey, but they do not get their fucking like extra swagger or whatever. The McCann just doesn't get a fucking number because again, Nito is he's so good. Nito.
Last night I knew with certainty that McCann wasn't even going to get a fly ball to the outfield. Like, it's just, I'm not even looking for the big hit. I just need a productive out. And it's like this light, weak infield pop-up, like the worst of the worst, Nothing worse than an infield pop-up when you got a runner on third with less than 2 outs. Where it's just
and the fact that it's Maben. He's fast.
Yeah,
like, you could have hit a shitty ground ball to the third baseman's left, and he still makes the play, and Maben's safe. Like, that's the one place you physically couldn't hit the ball, and that's where he hits the ball. Ooh. It's absurd.
That's a Mazika. Yeah. Mazika should have been pinch hitting there looking back. That's his fucking bag. That's his
like, at what point do you start thinking about, like, if you're in a big spot where you need to run and McCann's up, like, it's Nito time or anybody time. Nito is – I love him. He is – if it wasn't for Tommy Hunter, he would be officially, like, my favorite player on the team. It's impossible for it not to be Hunter. But Nito is, like – these guys are so fucking likable. They're so enjoyable. Like Lindor being overpaid and underperforming is obviously not the most likable thing. McCann flat out sucking, not great. Other than that, I love these guys. Almost all of them. Who's a guy like when Syndergaard comes back? Syndergaard's a perfect example of a guy who I'll root my ass off for him, and he's awesome. But personally, I just don't like his style. There's not many of those guys on this team, man. Like, everybody is really, really likable, and especially the bench mob. And the LR boys are just they're all that's right with baseball. I think that I really can't even remember who's who. Who's hurt? LR got hit in the face, right?
Yes, yeah. Pilar, yeah.
So VR is going to hit a home run every single night until Pilar's back. It's just he's going to his brother until he returns. He's unbelievable.
He's two men in one. He's got all the power of Pilar now. They've combined into one. They'll separate back out.
We need an Ilar gauntlet, and there's 2 spots for the Stones. And when he comes back, we're gonna fucking these 2 guys are gonna go. I don't know how Pilar, that clip of him with his face mangled, and he's like, I'm good. I'm doing good. What? What do you mean you're doing good, man? Absolutely not. You're not doing good. You look like fucking. It looks like you went 10 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. Jesus Christ.
When he said, I just feel bad because my teammates are hurting and I know everyone, like, I was like, well, you've just ensured yourself, like, basically being a top 5 Mets player for the next 10 years in every Mets
fan's His nose was like a roadmap. It just, like, it looked, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, a human face should not do those things.
Artie Lang took a look at that nose and was like, oh my God, your nose is fucked up, dude.
Bren, you said it looked like an S. It looked like that Stelladora, that had like the S cookie. Like, that's what it looked like now that you mention it. Yeah. And the guy just he's like, he went in the lineup. He's like, am I in today, Skip? Like, where he's like, if I could see out of my eye, I'd be in the lineup right now. What the fuck, man? I love it.
I could see or breathe.
You got LeBron crying his eyes out on the court last night because he got poked, and Villar's like, "Let me play, man. Like, your eyeballs are falling out of your face. You can't play today. I'm sorry."
If that happened to me, I just quit on the spot. No matter how many millions his contract is worth, I'd be like, I'm never doing that again. I mean, if I got a brushback pitch, I'd probably also just walk straight off the field. Like, even anything approaching me. But once you get hit, how do you?
Did I say this on the podcast, Clem? I think I might have said it on the live stream with us. Baseball is absolutely. I know it's it's not football, it's not hockey, it's not the tough guy sport, but it's the crazy person sport. Mm-hmm. Anything else in the world, if you were standing somewhere and a rock or something came flying at you 100 miles an hour and came within 18 inches, you would fucking dive out of the way and you would tell everyone you see that day, like, I almost died today. And baseball players willingly sign up to do that. And even at times will be like, I'm going to stand closer on purpose. I'm going to get even closer to where the ball's going to go because of the count or because of who's pitching. I mean, that's insanity. And then when you get clipped, like David Wright was never, he took a while for him to get comfortable back in the box again. Some of these guys, and on the other side too, you're afraid to pitch again when you almost kill some guy. So yeah, I mean, that would be the fact that he walked off under his own power. Did they say anything about a concussion? He had to be concussed, right?
They didn't say anything about it yet. No, I didn't see anything.
Your face and not your head. Like, maybe you don't get concussed from that, but either way, it was one of the most gruesome things you'll ever see. And coming from a guy who, that only an Ilar could take that. Hit like that, and they're fucking done for their career, but not an Ilar.
I think we were all in the same situation, I imagine, too. Is like, as soon as it, we're like, oh shit, that's going near the head. And then when it hit, I was like, and then you see he's moving, you're like, all right, he's moving. And then it just like the blood just was pouring out of his face. And I'm just like, turn it off. Like, I'm like screaming at the TV. I'm like, stop. And these guys, like you said, they go up there like, oh, I got a little elbow guard here. And people get upset they're wearing elbow guards. And it's like, well, these guys are going up against 100-mile-per-hour fastballs that everyone throws now. It's not just like that one guy who throws them. Everyone throws them in the pen. It's fucking crazy that these guys just go out and do it. So
it's great that he's so good. He's so all right, because now you can like go back and look at it. Because at first it was like, oh my God, did we kill a guy? Did we just watch like a human sacrifice? But then as soon as I heard he was all right, and as soon as I saw him tweet, I was like, let's go.
That would be the helmet I wear at the plate.
Just straight up astronaut outfit.
Only way I take a at bat in Major League Baseball. Yeah, once it was like he's healthy, he's relatively okay. Now I want to make a T-shirt. I want to like reference this point. I thought that was going to be our taking off point. I think had we been healthy, that would have been a great like jump off point. But the Rays
how lucky that is. Like, you never see them get hit flush like that either. If he gets hit, if that ball's to the left or to the right, his eye socket's like completely shattered and he's like possibly blind.
It might have been the best spot he can hit.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I mean,
if you get hit in the
chin, he could be back in a month.
If you get hit in the chin, you probably get knocked down and get a concussion, because boxers always aim for that. They say it like jars your brain inside your head, and that's like what actually knocks you out. You're right. You crack an orbital socket, you're out for like 18 months. But you just take it square in the nose, and I guess that's the best case scenario.
Yeah. It's a bunch of cartilage.
And the guy was ready. We loved him as it was. The Ilar brothers. I mean, they're just the Ilar brothers. I don't care what anyone says. They are the Ilar brothers. And Villar is on he's man on fire. He's Creasy Bear. He's Ilar Bear right now. He's ready to fucking avenge his fallen brother. You want to know who the hated guy on the roster is? Because every baseball team needs the guy that the fan base fucking hates. And the thing with the Mets is we would have like 7 of them at some points, where it's like Familia and Campbell and everybody. Yeah. Familia, I mean, if you hate Familia still, you're just an asshole, because the guy's pitching like
great. He's been amazing,
The one guy, and this goes in the bin too. Joey Lucchesi, put the Fuego nickname in the fucking bin. You lost it. You're Joey hasta luego. That's my dad joke on that one. He fucking stinks. He murdered. We would have won that game in Tampa if he didn't come in and just bring the gasoline can with him. And he kills the bullpen. And this bullpen is like the only thing keeping us above water, that and the bench mob and the AAA mob. And Joey Lucchesi is like the one like pure evil that has just fucked us every time we needed the most minimum performance out of him.
I almost don't hate him, only because like I think he'd be like, yeah, I don't know, man. I fucking suck. Like I don't think he's like unaware about it or doesn't know the deal. I think he's kind of just like, yeah, man. The same way Tommy Hunter gets up there and he's like, yeah, I just got to throw strikes and like it worked out for me. Like I got a hit the other day. He's like, the yin to that yang, where I think he'd be like, I fucking stink, man. But I remember acquiring him and people being like, yeah, it's gonna bolster the staff, and it's like, holy shit. I think him and
Yamamoto. Done.
Yeah.
It was they were neck and neck in spring training, and everyone's like, this is great. We're gonna have so much depth in the bullpen. And Yamamoto still hasn't come up, and everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Like Lucchesi clearly is not the guy. He's a quadruple A pitcher. He was successful in spring training because he's facing all the triple A guys.
And I know Reddit, they kind of did the thing where they're showing the release points and he's kind of tipping his pitches, and he has like 2 pitches too. So it's like A or B. That's all it's going to fucking take, right? So I don't think that's going to matter.
Reddit graphic that was like the trajectory of every single pitch. If you were like looking from the side, and you can just tell exactly where every breaking ball or fastball or whatever is going. My internet sucks, man.
He's the complete anti-Jacob deGrom, who throws like 4 pitches and all of them are from the same exact release point, and they go anywhere from like 105 to like 90, and people have no idea what the fuck's coming. Joey Lucchesi, the Churve is a cool name, and then they just beat the fucking piss out of it, right? So
hitters love the Churve.
One of my favorite like graphics that they do in baseball is when you see they have one pitch and then you see like the balls go every which way. Yes. You know what I'm talking about? I want to see that with Lucchesi and just all up like right over the fucking plate. Like here's the breaking ball, here's the fastball, here's off speed, and they're all just on a fucking tee right in the middle of the goddamn plate. He's the one guy in my awakening as a confident and optimistic fan, a positive fan, where I'm like always trying to see the upside or always trying to be like, go get him tomorrow, man. He's the one guy I can't. I'm just like, fuck you, man. You stink. And unfortunately for Joey Fuego, that means that he's going to get like 25 guys worth of hate piled onto him by me. You are just going to be my punching bag. I'm sorry, Joey Fuego. Like when you put a guy out there, kind of like what we did with Barnes last night, where it was like, you're going to wear this one no matter what happens. That's the internet version of that. I'm like, you got to wear this, Joey. I got to be positive for everyone else. So I'm going to absolutely hammer you on Twitter, dude, because I can't take it anymore.
Like someone else fucks up and you're just like, fuck Joey Fuego. He's not even on the field.
Oh, man. All right, but so like big picture, they come off the 7-game win streak. They run into the Rays. The Rays was a frustrating series because I feel like they obviously could have scooped up that game against Glasnow, which would have been like, not only another W, but you beat him. He's one of the best pitchers, the whole 9. But then I think to bounce back against the Braves, a sweep would have been, for the mentality of it all, a sweep against the Braves would be huge. But I think 2 out of 3 is like enormous, and doing it all with the bench mob squad. I think Frank. So Frank said to me, so by the way, that's it, right? Frank's out.
He's out. He gone.
He had a chance. He made his own bet because he tweeted, I think I'm starting to believe, right? It was so funny because it was almost like the Riley Reid meme. He's like, oh, fuck, you're going to make me believe. I was just picturing right? But he's the one who put himself kind of on the clock where it was like, all right, now's the time to believe. And he went right back to hating. So we all agreed, like, see you fucking later. And then he DM'd me on the side being like, I just don't understand how you can be positive about this team. And I said, I don't know. Maybe it's the 7-game win streak that just happened. Like right now, it just fucking happened. And then he said, yeah, but the injuries keep coming. And I was like, yeah, but we're also getting injured guys back any minute. I mean, there's just nothing to – the injuries are obviously abnormal, but like injuries happen and everything –
he hates all the guys that are getting hurt anyway. It's not like right. He's like, oh no, we've lost our great players that I love so much. Like all those players, he said, these guys all suck at some point. And so good that it hurt.
Yeah, but I think what we need to realize as Mets fans on a micro and a macro level. Kyle said it best in his email about the Tyler Glasnow game, where it was like Peterson was pitching well, and a lot of the fans crushed Rojas for how he handled leaving him in and whatnot. But it's just kind of one of those things that happens. It was just, Kyle, you said, like, it's a baseball loss. Like, sometimes that happens. A guy's cruising, and you leave him in, and he gets hit. I think you could argue, you should argue that Rojas probably should have had May in the pen, so that when he gives up the home run, you bring him right away. I said that last podcast, I believe. Fine. But that was just a baseball loss. That wasn't a Mets loss. That wasn't some catastrophically stupid loss. It just happens. And I think right now, on the big picture as well, aside from the injuries being a lot of it extreme, this is just how it goes. Like, you're going to have some big stars who are in a slump, and you're going to have some guys breaking out of it. You're going to have some pitchers who are doing well, who get injured, but you're going to have guys step up and guys slip up. It's right now is maybe a little bit more extreme highs and a little bit lower extreme lows. But all in all, this is just like how a baseball season goes. And I don't think we're same old Mets by any means. So if you're Frank or any of the like old school like haters, I just don't think there's anything really to really latch on to. Rojas has been bad. He hasn't been, catastrophic. Some of these injuries have been tough, but we got guys coming back. Some of the slumps have been terrible, but some of the breakouts have been great. It's baseball, man.
It's baseball, Susan. It's baseball, Susan. And it's one of those things that if these injuries were like catastrophic and these guys were off for the year, I'm like, well, now we're just fucked. And it's like whatever we can patch together the rest of the way. It's like these guys, God willing, should be coming back. Like as soon as two guys go on the aisle every single night, but then you're like, DeGrom's having a rehab start. J.D. Davis is in Syracuse right now. Noah is throwing fucking gas, it looks like, and it sounds like everything was good on his first start. So it's like, all right, these guys are going to come back, and then we should be fucking awesome. And, like, you always hear that, like, when those bench guys get in, they feel like they contributed a little, and they're, like, sharp from having some time. That helps them, too, right? Because they feel like they contributed, and then the whole fucking team buys into that. So I love this kind of shit, man. I don't love it now, and that's the other thing, too. The bullpen, we all have to make a pact right now to give the bullpen, like, at least like a week or two of like mulligans here because they have been absolutely taxed. They've kept us in all these games. Like there's games where they're literally, obviously they're starting the game with the openers. They're closing the game because they're the bullpen and they're doing everything in between because it's like either the starter gets hurt or the starter sucks or it's Joey Lucchesi blowing up and fucking murdering us all. So in the end, like it's even the shitty guys, like Barnes was in the other night and I was like, all right, man, like if you suck, if we lose here, we wear it. And fucking if Trevor May on his third night, Diaz, if God forbid, I honestly thought they were going to bring in a position player at some point and be like, well, it's a tie game, man on second to start the inning, but fuck it. We just got to like not tax our arms completely here. So I'll take what I can get at this point.
I'm seriously not kidding. I thought that was on the table where it was just like we have to think about the big picture. I'm always so interested to know how that goes down. Like if I'm Edwin Diaz, I'm thinking like, and we really, we had if that was the ninth inning. Wait, was that the ninth? Yeah, it wasn't. Or if we had the lead, let's say, is Edwin Diaz really just sitting out there like, nope, I'm not playing? Or is he like barking at Rojas, like put me in, and Rojas has to be like, absolutely not? Or is it just like, in the grand scheme of things, he knows that he just like can't pitch tonight because when dangling right in front of you is a 3-game sweep of the Braves and, like you're back on track and you're in first place and all you got to do is pitch one more inning, even though you're a little tired, you got an off day tomorrow, do you really just say like, nope, no, thank you? Because I know as fans, we live and die on every game, and he's probably just like, I don't know, to break it down, if someone was like, we need you for the rundown, it was just like, dude, today's my day off. Like, I'm just not fucking doing it. Or is like the competitor in you means like, you're foaming at the mouth for a chance to get in there.
That's why the fans kill him is because Rojas, he's got May warming up next to Diaz in the tie game, and then neither of them come in, and Barnes comes in and blows it. It's like, this isn't like the past where you can have like an 18-inning extra inning game. Like a dude starts on second base. If you're going to warm up May and you're going to use him for the third day, now you just blew his arm like again. For what? Yeah. To throw in the bullpen to not come into the game? Like that kind of stuff is what's driving the fans nuts. It's just like you have to have some sort of feel.
When we took the lead, right, I think that was the notion, but then it was quickly tied again, no?
No, the two of them were warming up, and they were like, if they take the lead, Diaz will come in. That was the thought process as you're watching TV. Like, if we take the lead because we have the runner on third, then Diaz is coming in, and if not, May's coming in, and then he just runs Barnes back out there. And it was like, why do you have him warming up again if you're not going to use him?
That is true. Because I don't think I realized they were warming up because I was okay with Barnes. I thought that May and Diaz were just like unavailable. I don't think I realized they were warming up because I just thought like, yeah, Barnes is going to have to win this or lose this, and that's all there is to it. But yeah, you're right. If they warmed up, then really what is the point? It was very funny to me that it was the first pitch, just like, now this is over.
Yep.
To me, I felt in my bones we were going to lose that game. I said it like halfway through. I was like, I'm just going to watch a movie. And then because this is like the new Cohen era, we came back and we took the lead. Like there really is no more like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to write this game off. But I do think ultimately that game, the way that we were trying, when you're just trying to cobble together a win like that, you're playing against a good team, eventually it's going to bite you in the ass. You know what I mean? Like you just can't stumble your way through it and get that W. I said it. I was like, Braves can't come up with a win in this game. Like, they fucking suck. And, you know, the fact that it was just like, all right, we're going to try to go with Barnes one more. Oh, okay, the game's over. Never mind. See you later. Like, I couldn't. What was Gary Cohen doing? I know it's tough on the TV, but, you know, we always suck his dick. So I gotta at least be a little even here. Even I was looking at Khalil Lee as he got, or was it Khalil? Whoever was the center, like jogging to the wall, like looking up. I was like, that's a home run. And Gary was like, fly ball.
That was like a courtesy, you know, when like he knows it's gone. You don't even run back on that. He should just been running straight to the dugout. The game's over. But he just was jogging back.
That felt like a John Sterling home run call where he's blatantly being like, that's the opposition and I'm pissed off about it. But usually Gary is like a professional through and through. That had to be the worst call of his career. And I know he's had some tough ones. I bet you Gary Cohen, when like they go to commercial, when the game's over, he goes Christian Bale on him. He fucking throws his headset. He's like, I can't do this amateur bullshit with these motherfucking. Like, I bet you he goes crazy over it, and rightfully so. It's got to be.
You got Keith like Gare, get it together, Gare.
Fuck you, Hernandez.
Their jobs have changed 0%. Gary and Ron, Keith and Ron just provide their commentary and tell their stories. They could do the game with their eyes closed. They don't need to see what's going on. Gary, though, I mean, doing it off of a TV has got to be impossible. But that was a big, big bomb. I mean, that was deep, man. Dead center, Acuna crushed it, and Gary seemed to have no idea. Maybe it was because of the first pitch. You just don't expect it. He wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it was funny that Barnes was just like, okay, see you later, game over, fuck off.
Acuna was just standing there, like doing a dance. Like, I mean, it was a no-doubter.
That was tough.
And then it goes the opposite way where I don't know who had the last at bat of the top of the ninth. It was who was up after McCann, Peraza, and he's like up, like he hits it, and it's like right to the third base. I'm like, Gary, and listen, that's why he needs like idiots like us in the booth. And he's like,
softly.
It's tough. It's tough for Gary.
You know what he did? He said he was like a line drive to third, and it's caught, and then he tried to be like it was a soft liner. He tried to make up for it. Yeah, that was clearly not getting over his head. That was. I really am. I'm Riley Reid, man. I'm Riley Reid, and the Mets are just fucking me with positivity because I actually thought like I thought they were going to drive that run in. I thought it was going to happen. I really am starting to believe that like they can pull it out. I remember. Do you remember, Bren? Over the years, Dad has always said this. So our mom is. Everybody knows. Mama Clance is the driving force for the Mets fandom in our house. And my dad has always been along for the ride watching the games with his girl. And he still thinks it's like 1986 because back then when it truly was like the amazing Mets and they were never out of it. They always would pull it out of their ass. There was always a rally in the cards. And of course, the World Series and Buckner and all that shit. So he's like, well, it's the Mets. Like, you can't ever turn the game off until there's the final out. I'm like, Dad, you can turn the game off in the fourth inning sometimes, brother. Like, that shit has sailed.
For the last 2 decades.
Right, but this year, I mean, I'm starting to think the opposite, where when you got the bench mob up, these pesky motherfuckers, I do think that, anything's possible, man. I love it. I love this team. I don't know what to do.
Do you think though? Do you think right now with the injuries, like if they do go, if it's like a rough week, are you going to be able to keep this positivity up? Like I'm talking, like they drop like 4 or 5.
It's not even about the injuries. Just like I think that I'm a organism that like runs on hate. Like it fuels me. You know what I mean? It's like part of me is missing right now. Not having some like Mets meltdown, like fuck these guys. So I feel like I need it. That's why Joey Fuego is just gonna be. He's gonna be my punching bag. I'm just gonna beat this guy like a dead dog. I'm just gonna kill him because I gotta get some sort of negativity out. But I love all these guys. I really, like I said, Noah's not my favorite. Pete's Pete. Everybody else like. And then the other side of it is if you're bad, like I can't even kill the guy because I feel horrible about how much money Michael Conforto has just lost. I mean, unless he can come back and he can tear it up, he can have an amazing second half. And there might be some team out there who's savvy to be like, no. We know the real Conforto is like a lock for 30 home runs. But I mean, think about if he had signed – if they just done an extension in the offseason or coming off of right after the short season where he like was really on pace to have a big year. There's no way you can give this version $150 million, right? I mean, can you even give this like 100? I feel like he's going to get like an $80 million deal, and it's like, holy shit, man. So that, even when
he probably knew though. He probably knew. He was like, I'm not worth $150 million.
No, but he was consistent for so long. That was always my argument is like a lot of Mets fans, when I argue about Conforto, I think because he was there, the homegrown guy who they wanted to bat third in the middle of this lineup and be a stud corner outfield guy, they thought that meant like 45 home runs. If that's what you wanted from Conforto, then yeah, he's a disappointment. I just always had like my correct expectations for him. So I've never been down on him because I'm just like, yeah, he's going to give you like 28 to 32 home runs. And that's like, good. I had some dude arguing with me. He went and counted up the total number of players who hit like 30 home runs or 28 home runs and was like, this is not impressive. And I was like, bro, if you got to sit there, it was something like, 70 players in baseball do that. I was like, I don't know. There's like 1,000 players in Major League Baseball. 30 home runs is still pretty fucking good, man. So if your expectations were crazy for him, you're down on him. I did think he was that consistent of a guy. And so now when he plays bad, instead of being like, you fucking bum, I'm like, oh man, like, oh, that's got to hurt the wallet right there. That can't be.
I mean, 70 players. It's like a little more than 2 per team. You need one of your guys. Like he's one of our guys. We only are going to get 2. It's like probably him and Alonso.
Yeah. How many of those guys on his list are on our team? Like like you said, like Alonso. That's it. Like I'll take that guy on my team. I'm not going to take him for like $200 million. Right. This will be Boris's greatest. Boris is such a motherfucker. He's going to get that money, whether it's with us or some other team in the worst possible scenario. Fucking Japan. Fucking Conforto's going to go to goddamn Korea. He's going to be on the Dinos next year. Oh, man. Good news. Good news for us. Good news for you, Kev, because good news for Joey Fuego. It says Yamamoto is going to be pitching this weekend. So
there you go.
All right.
Great call.
Yeah, I mean,
he's also like a huge Met fan. It's just like him. Every social media post is like him, his wife, and the dog, like watching the Met games in his hotel room or his apartment, wherever he is. And he's like, "I'm coming, boys." I'm like, at least he sounds like he's excited to be here.
Oh, this team! I mean, the stars are aligning. All I just need them to do is win, because everything else is in place. My mentality has changed. Everybody's likable. The owner has changed. Just win, baby. It'll be like the most enjoyable year of my fucking life if this can happen.
He's from Hawaii. I like that. A lot. Yamamoto, like that name lends itself to like nicknames and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah. His dad I wish he was a position player. Because on a home run, if you were like Yamamoto, I mean, you can do that for strikeout. I guess you can go Yamamoto on a strikeout. You got Yamamoto, you got Moto'd, although that's a little bit too close to Yamamoto for my liking. So I don't know, but yeah, that's a good name.
Hello, Moto.
Yamamoto. All right, I like it. We can work with this.
His dad was a diesel mechanic. I don't know. He's from Hawaii. I mean, little bit Maniac Miami vibes. That kind of shit. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia here. He cuts people. He cuts his teammates' hairs and shit. He has a ton of tattoos. Sold. He's not Joey Lucchesi.
Tats threw me for a loop because I was thinking, more Asian than Hawaiian, and you usually don't see an Asian guy with like a full sleeve. So that's kind of cool.
And I mean, if he pitches well enough, I'll give him Jordan Fuego. He could just have Joey's nickname, right? Jordy Fuego.
How do you say
that's
Fuego?
Up. You take his spot on his nickname.
Jordan Fuego is. You mix a guy like Jordan Fuego with Taiwan Walker, and you a 1-2 punch, or in this case, like a 3-4, 4-5 punch that you could have some fun with as a fan. How about this? Just real quick, by the way, I'm using Feidelberg's computer because mine sucks. And his default search is Yahoo. What the fuck?
John.
Like, wait, do you guys use Chrome? Like, when I use Chrome, because I've noticed Feidelberg do this, and I thought it was weird, and now it's making sense. I've noticed Feidelberg goes to google.com and then searches. I just search thing in the bar, right? In the URL bar.
Yeah.
And now it makes sense because if you do that, it takes you to Yahoo. Feidelberg, what are you doing?
Is he using like Firefox?
No, I'm in Chrome.
He is in Chrome,
it defaults to Yahoo.
Oh, wait, so he's in Chrome and he uses Yahoo to search things?
That's
weird.
You know what? Yeah, the URL bar I just use as a search bar and goes right to Google. His goes to Yahoo, so he wants to Google something. He goes to google.com and then types it in the bar. It's insane.
That's weird because with Firefox, it may have defaulted to Yahoo and you had to switch it, but you had the option to switch to Google. But Chrome is a Google product, so you had to switch it from Google to Yahoo.
Man,
The only excuse I could give him is if he went to Yahoo for some reason, and then it was make Yahoo and you just click, allow, and then it becomes your default browser. But there's also no reason to be going to yahoo.com in the first place. So there's really no reason for this at all.
Joey Langone told me that the big story of today, I was thinking, Kev, maybe we'll do a 1 minute man on it, is that Internet Explorer is being canceled. Internet Explorer is still around?
If you're using Internet Explorer, you need to get off the internet altogether. Life has passed you by.
I blogged Internet Explorer being killed I think 2 years ago. I blogged that they discontinued it.
Maybe they slowly rolled it out. I don't know. And maybe now today is the drop dead date or something like that.
Okay, August 21st, 2020 is when I said they're killing it off, and it said. The last iteration would be November 3rd, August 17th, 2021. I thought you meant they were canceling it cancel culture. I'm like, we're canceling internet browsers now. That's where we are. Is it something with the divorce with Melinda or something? I'm trying to figure out how these fucking lunatics on the internet work.
You've seen, because that goes viral every time when the way something is worded. If they're Mets game tonight is canceled, and somebody will retweet it oh no, what did it say? Everything is being canceled because of inappropriate tweet.
Don Glover was just talking about television shows getting canceled. And everyone was like, yeah, fuck cancel culture. He's like, no, the executives didn't pick it up for season 2.
All shows must be renewed from now on. Nothing can be canceled. We are against cancel culture. Everything gets greenlit.
So Yamamoto is the son of a mechanic, and his mother is the president of a credit union. He's Filipino, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, and Portuguese. So he's got a little bit of everything in him. And he throws the ball 148 kilometers per hour. I think I'm going to start talking in kilometers from now on.
Sounds fast.
How great would that be?
Only during Yamamoto starts.
130 minutes.
I only want metric system during Yamamoto. Metric Yamamoto.
Metric system moto.
That probably translates to 92 miles per hour.
That's exactly what it is. 92 miles an hour. He tops out at 92. That's exactly
Jesus,
correct.
Brent, are you a closet metric system user? You would be, Brent. You would be a metric system user.
Lucky guess.
So, all right, Yamamoto is the right choice. Although in 2020 he had a 18.26 ERA. So,
God, we're
but yeah, anything better than Joey Fuego. So, you just when your team gets ravaged like this, I'm always like, just hold on and like try to go 500. But with the bench mob, it's like, I mean, I wasn't joking when I said that I don't know if JD Davis and Nimmo should just get their spots back. I mean, a lot of these guys are the Jones Schwees and the Khalils and whatnot, obviously are just here for the time being. But some of these bench mob players are playing so well. Like Nito is probably the definition of a guy that I'm like, give me more Nito, and then the warts get exposed when you play him too much. But I mean, everybody's playing exactly their role until the cavalry comes, and I just hope that everybody is healthy. I mean, if everybody comes back healthy, and they've like held on to first place during this like crazy rash of injuries, it could be a fun summer, boys. It'd be a fun time. And really seriously, Major League Baseball's got to change the balls, right?
Can you do it mid-season?
I honestly think they might have 9 no-hitters or 6 no-hitters in a month.
Contact baseball is dead anyway, but it doesn't help.
No, it really doesn't. And here's the thing. I think we all knew it, or at least I did, but it's a story now. Like now it's come to the forefront because there's so many no-hitters, and now it's a story. And now you're going to get the same thing you just said. It's dying, and we don't want strikeouts. We want dingers. It takes a lot for the general consensus last night when Kluber threw his no-hitter was like, I mean, that's like there's always a little bit of a debate. Guys like Portnoy has always been like no-hitters are overrated, most overrated thing in sports. So there's some people who believe that. But for the most part, when it happens, the internet's like, oh, shit. This was like across the board was like, who cares? This is a problem. So I think that Manfred just doesn't want it to be a story. And so I have this novel idea. It's a crazy one. Just make balls that are like in the fucking middle. Like we did the ones that were crazy. We did the ones that suck. Like just do a normal baseball or go to the crazy ones because that was awesome. Everybody loved that.
Kyle, what were you saying before we started recording about their where they're making tweaks and that it's just like everything that's killing the game is trying to be changed?
They were saying like I think it was Evan Roberts. I don't know who it was on WFAN, but he was like, the way that the game is trending is like, yeah, all the analytics and all the shit that they're doing to the game right now, it's maximizing their wins, but it's killing the game of baseball because nobody wants to watch it because it's boring as fuck. So it's like, yeah, if we put this player in this random spot in the outfield, like odds are that guy's not going to get a hit. But is that better for the game? Like to watch someone get out over and over and over and over again, and the games are 3.5 hours. Like it's like the perfect storm of just shit to kill the game. And the fact that like in 2019, I want to say when we had the juice baseballs, then there was a conspiracy that when the playoffs happened, they switched back to the old baseballs, and that's why the balls weren't flying out. And it was like, well, now you got all these guys flying out to the warning track. What are you doing? Stop manipulating it one way or the other. You need to just set yourself on one and leave it, which is why now we're here again.
I remember thinking, this is the best of the best. These are good pitchers. Players, batters are tight. Nerves are up there. I remember thinking that was a bit conspiracy theory-ish because, like, it just I don't think it would turn a dime like that much. But I mean, something is afoot. You don't have this many people struggling and this many star pitchers like playing like stars. The thing that sucks, like I remember thinking that Pete Alonso was like ball proof in the sense that like, okay, he hit 53 home runs with the juice balls, but they were like 500-foot bombs. He was hitting like 430 on the regular. So, okay, don't, take the juice out of it, and he's still hitting them like, 390, 400, like, okay. But I definitely think you can see all these guys being affected in some way. And I think now that it's a story and now that's going to be a thing, if I was a hitter, I'd be doing unnamed source articles left and right. I'd be talking to beat reporters being like, via anonymous, this is fucked up. You're taking money out of my pocket by, playing around with the balls. Like, fuck this. But
so
I
like
can't
before when you were saying when they were doing the study,
what?
When you guys were saying before, they're doing the study that everybody wants to see doubles and triples more often to make the game more exciting. So that was their thought process, is like, oh, if we deaden the baseballs, they're just going to hit it around the field more, and then the game will be more exciting. But what they failed to realize is that every hitter in the league right now is all about launch angle. So all they're doing is popping it up.
Yeah.
Like, no one's a live drive hitter anymore. So what do you expect them to do?
There's two things going on there, I feel like. I think that when you are watching the game, if you watch a full game, sustained rallies are a lot of fun. You know, a lot of hits, a lot of if you hit like 4 doubles in a row, that's like, the ideal entertaining product. But then there's like the highlights side of things. Do not tell me that you want to see doubles on Twitter. When you're watching your highlights, you want to see a bomb. So it depends on what you're focusing on. I think the way to like grow the game would be to let everyone put highlights out there and have those highlights be colossal home runs. But when you're watching the game and you're doing like a 3.5 inning hour experience, I could see the idea where you want like sustained rallies where we're hitting it into the gaps and shit. But if the player's approach is not to do that, and then also if you're gonna go that far, if you're gonna manipulate the balls to try to put the ball in play and have a lot of like hits instead of home runs, then you probably have to go as far to change the shift, to stop the shift. Because, I don't know if this is a Rojas thing, if this is a Sandy thing, if it's the analytics nerds who go unnamed. The Mets infield defense, their alignment is legitimately flawless, like 100% accuracy. And because maybe it's normal for a young fan to watch, but for my old ass, when I see a ball that's hit hard right up the pitcher mound, when they change camera angles, I expect to see that thing rolling into center field every time, and every single time it's Lindor right fucking there. I mean, it's impressive. So I don't know if it's if you got to give credit to Lindor that he knows exactly where to stand. Rojas, the team, the analytics, the bench coach, whoever, they're always there. It's amazing.
We were talking before you jumped on, Kev. I want shift screen. I want it like either a graphic or a split screen, because I don't know where anybody's playing, and I need to know, like, if somebody pulls a ground ball, if there's 8 guys over on there, like I need to know. And right now it's just like, oh, every time there's a shot up the middle, you have no idea. It's not a hit. Now it's getting to the point where you assume it's not going to be a hit.
I need the RBI baseball screen. It's like behind the hitter, and then there's those 2 boxes where you see the runners. I want like 2 boxes where you see the fielders, and I also want the music. How much better would baseball be if said do 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 do. And then when there's when the runners are in scoring position and it gets tense, that tense music. I mean, that would make the game much more enjoyable. I might just start playing the soundtrack, on the side while I watch the game.
Jonathan Villar's already an RBI. He looks like an RBI baseball guy. Like, he has the body of an RBI baseball guy. That's why I love him. That's the first reason I started like gravitating. I'm like, oh, that's kind of my guy right there. Brent also had a great idea too. If you can't do like the split screen, put it on the base, where the graphic is, where who's on base. Just put where like the guys are, and then shift them based on how they shift. A little, the bases are yellow, and then put like a red dot where like the third baseman is short, just so you have an idea. So then when you're not fucking like, holy shit, oh, the guy's right there every single time.
Yeah. Kyle was saying there's a big initiative to get fans to stop looking at their phones. I was like,
or if they're gonna look at them, they want them to use them in the stadium so you can track the players.
Everybody's looking at their phone. Like, that's a battle I don't understand. I'm like, I like that. I like that they're doing like AR, like if you hold your phone up to the field, you get more stuff. But I'm like, let them look down too, especially in baseball. Like basketball, it's constantly moving. You're going to be looking up. Baseball, you have all the time in the world to look down, check another score, check your fantasy team. They need to embrace that, make that more, let me see highlights immediately. You're sitting there looking at the scoreboard, trying to watch the replay and see if he's out. No, everybody's going to look down at their phone. Make the phone better. Baseball literally is going backwards. They're trying to go the exact wrong direction.
They should have something on the back of the seat in front of you is like the QR code. And if you scan that, it takes you to some extra, where you do see like if you could get live in-game stats somehow. So like you scan the code and it would tell you, all right, this guy's up, and then we know there's a man on second. Here's his average with runners in scoring position, or something like that. Where like it whatever's happening in the game right in that moment, if you have your phone and you're using it rather than just dicking around, you have an incentive to actually use it for the better of the
usually
experience.
on the Jumbotron, they put up some stupid stats or like little intricacies, and just have a ton of that stuff because people are just not going to stop looking at their phones for no matter what. Like you're never going to compete with Twitter. You're never going to compete with stuff.
Someone's also going to get murked with a fucking line drive one day.
Is that why they're doing it? To make sure that people don't get killed.
Oh, that's why they had to extend the netting down both sides because everyone's a fucking idiot. I'm like, did you just not see Pilar get his nose ripped off?
Yeah, that shit's no joke, man. It's one of my irrational fears that one day I'm going to get smoked by a line drive and have like the most embarrassing death of all time. So 2 out of 3 of the Braves. I think anybody would have signed for that at any point for sure. Who's up next? We got the
Marlins in Miami, and then home for the Rockies.
All right.
And then home for the Braves. Braves on Memorial Day weekend. That's another one that would have scared me, right? It's like a holiday time against like a team that you fucking hate. But
you're wearing the camo hats. You got got some weird jerseys on.
Yep.
It's gonna be
that does scare me, by the way. I don't. I am officially scared now thinking about that.
I have no stats to back this up, but if the bats are pink, if the hats are camo, if you're wearing alternate uniform, some weird things go bad for the Mets.
That fucking Players Weekend where it was all white, you couldn't see it, and that was like hell on earth. Billy Hamilton was ripping our guts out, and who's my guy? Hechavarria. And Hamilton just gutted us after we fucking got rid of
cut Hetchy, so he didn't get $1 million. Then he comes back and just murders us.
But that was the most
white jersey.
As Drupal Cabrera and Hetchy were the most like justice served. I was rooting for the opposition that day. Specifically the Wilpons. Fuck them. But yeah, anytime the Mets are not wearing just like regular ass uniforms. Also, Clem and I both agreed on this. I wonder what you guys think. The Mets blue with the orange like trim uniforms, I hate. They're my least favorite uniform in Mets history.
The one with the silver, almost like gray Mets
silver,
logos too.
right?
I don't like those either.
And there's like white and orange piping, and it's all blue. I either want like the white at home or the gray away, and I don't like the blue away at all.
It feels very spring training-y to me, or like batting practice.
Right, yeah, batting practice jersey for sure.
I feel like Mr. Met should be on their hat, right?
yeah. Give me. I like the white. I don't really care if it's white solid or pinstripes, but the white with the Mets. I like the gray with the New York. I want the alternate to be the 1987 script. I have no idea why that was only 1 year. I know we talked to Howie Rose. He hates that, but I think that one looks fucking awesome. The black, I think I just have like PTSD from, we had good years in the black, but I also, when I think of the black uniforms, I don't think of the Subway Series and the best infield ever. I think of like Burnitz and Mo Vaughn and Roger Cedeno and all those guys. So the black doesn't like give me fond memories, but I know the fan base seems to love it. So like, fuck it, give them the black. See, even that, the old me would be like, fuck it, no. And now I'm just like, okay, the kids like the black. Let the kids play. Give them the black. It's fine. When Stroman was like, the first thing I'm going to do is get a DeGrom jersey in black and like frame it. Like, all right, you crazy kids, go have some fun. You wear your black. I also feel super uncomfortable being like, I don't like the black. That makes me not in this day and age, all right,
I'm gonna clip that.
Yeah, Marlins next. I'm not sure how they've been playing. It doesn't matter. You could tell me that the Marlins are undefeated. You could tell me that the Marlins have a single win this year. The Marlins will be motherfuckers all weekend long. They will be a thorn in our side every single time we play them. But the Rockies, I want to beat. Rockies, dysfunctional ass franchise that I want to beat the shit out of. So if you play well against the Marlins, I think there's a chance for another good week here, man. I think I think if the bench mob keeps rolling, although I am afraid, do you think that at some point, these guys, the magic runs out?
You think that? I have to say, though, like the fact that they even had a chance to win last night, let alone the fact they took the lead late and like it was actually coming, I was like, holy shit, we're going to steal this in Atlanta for the sweep. That gives me at least another week of believing, even like, and again, I think we were all pretty low on Sunday in Tampa, right? After that, I was like, fuck, this is going to be a rough stretch here. I think just seeing those 2 wins plus that like almost sweep win, that kind of has me like pretty good for like the next week. And again, the Marlins fuck us. It's like, it's the Marlins fucking us. Nothing new here. Nothing new to see.
Yeah. I think the good thing is, again, Mr. Positivity here. Like, there's been so many new guys coming up, kind of staggered because people just keep getting injured. That it's like, okay, maybe I was going to say the Nito magic runs out. I think Nito's a little bit different because Nito is like a professional. He's not like a plug-in, nobody. But let's say Nito goes cold, but like Khalil Lee can't possibly strike out 10 times in a row, can he? So maybe
we'll find out. Yeah, Tune in to find out.
I mean, 8 straight is tough. But as long as I actually DM'd him
the
this.
bat on the ball, ground out, buddy.
I said, listen, keep the glove up, and I'm fine with it, man. You keep making plays like he did in the field, like so be it. But I'm hoping that as some of the magic wears off for a few of the replacement players, the others, break out or vice versa. So I'm hoping that that's all good. But I do also think that they've earned a little bit of slack in my mind, where kind of what you said about the bullpen, Clem, like nobody should be giving any shit to the bullpen. If these guys go out and it's the same sort of lineup and Pete's not back and it's all replacement players and they get their shit pushed in, like you can't kill them for that. It's like you kill players when they should be good and they're getting paid a lot and they have expectations and they're not trying hard and they don't meet them. These guys are busting their asses. They're just not good. So, you could be upset that they lose, but I think anybody crushing the replace Mets I've been seeing flying around, you're killing the replace Mets. Like, you're just an asshole. You're Frank,
A lot of people, I still can't figure out the most strikeouts to start a career. It does feel like we are going to be getting to that pace with our guy. Drop the bunt, Khalil. Just drop the bunt. Go in as a fielder's choice. You fucking call it a day, man.
Yeah, I know. Get that off your back. Do we not figure out the number? Because it can't be much more. I'm surprised it's not already it.
I'm on Google and I couldn't find anything, so I just went to Twitter and now it's just a bunch of Mets fans asking what is the most strikes.
Try Yahoo.
Yeah, try Yahoo.
Jay will absolutely know this answer. I'll ask him. What's the record for most?
It's probably a Met. Let's be honest, right? Like that's a very Mets thing.
But we would know.
What do you think it is?
We would know it.
Because like I think of like the hitting Anthony Young
non-pitcher. There's got to be some pitcher that just goes over his career.
True. I mean, even Bartolo was fucking making contact at this point, and this is from the president of the Khalil Lee fan club saying this.
I mean, I genuinely am stunned it's not already 0 for 8. I'm gonna guess
the bat's too long. I told you guys the bat was too long. I told you.
Wait, I actually missed this. Like, I saw your tweets, and I missed it in the beginning. Where is this just the eyeball test? Do you think his bat's too long, or did somebody say something?
No, as soon as it was during spring training, we were doing the pod and it was on. I was like, that bat's too long for him. And it's like, it's the opposite of Juan Lagares, where I always said the bat was too short for him. So we need to fucking give him Juan Lagares' old bat, just get a little more compact swing, and then he's going to be a fucking masher. Because again, these guys keep saying, Gary keeps saying, he's a fucking masher in training or whatever. I don't know. He's 22.
Honestly, it's that thing where, like I was saying before, if you're in Little League, you have the Little League bat and you're killing it, and then you get pulled up, you're playing in middle school, and then the barrels get bigger, and you're just like, oh, I want that huge bat because I need it, and I'm already good, so I might as well take the bigger bat so I can hit it further, and then you can't catch up to it. Here's the thing, it's tough for him too, is like when you get pulled up, nobody has any film on you, so this is the time when you should be crushing, and he is just getting that blown out of his hand. So like that's where you're a little concerned.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
The film on him now is just like throw it over the plate. It's fucking terrible.
Throw it.
Only dude who's like, usually you come up and breaking balls just absolutely like annihilate you. They're like, all right, the rookie's up, just throw him fastballs. Yeah, that's not a good sign when you can't catch up.
I haven't found to start a career.
All right,
but,
do you have something, Brent?
Yeah, I haven't found to start a career, but Sandy Koufax actually, you said non-pitcher, but Sandy Koufax struck out 12 times in a row.
So
that's the record for all time. So
Jesus,
8 to start a career. That's got to be to start a career.
That's what I mean. I bet you pitching. I bet you position player. I bet you it's him. I bet you just nobody. Anthony DeComo tweeted out. Like somebody tweeted out. I'm gonna say it's Khalil Lee with 8.
This is on Quora. This is so I don't know if this is accurate, but it says Mark Reynolds struck out 9 times in a row, like in his career.
But that's not to start the career. I think that was back when Mark Reynolds was striking out 200 times a season. He would be the guy, but I'm gonna say that this is already a record.
Tell me, Khalil Lee, if he put a glove on, like he would make contact with it, right? Because like he'd have like 1/10 the amount of. And he just hits it, and that's all that fucking matters. Like it doesn't be a wooden glove. Just let him hit with the leather. It'll at least fucking make contact. It might break all his fingers in the process, but we just have to fix
a leather bat. Just give him like a longer thing of leather. You know what? Give him Andy Chavez's glove. Remember Andy Chavez's glove? It looked like one of those novelty gloves that, like, you could catch. Like Andy Chavez's glove was a lacrosse goalie's stick. It was huge. So let him just swing that out there and put some leather on the ball because that's what Khalil does. That's what the bench mob does. They just get shit done. Do we have any I know Pete's x-rays were negative. So is he taking day-to-day? Is he off again or is he back at the lineup tomorrow? I guess we'll see. Thank God for an off day. That's what's scary about baseball where like the bullpen's taxed and it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to have one off day a week. But other than that, the games just keep on fucking rolling, and you're not injured. You're just tired. It's like how do you dig out of this hole? And I guess the answer is you just sit these guys down and let Barnes wear it. But let's hope some of these injuries are not so bad. Let's hope these guys come back. Let's hope that nobody gets Ray Ramirez, and the bench mob keeps rolling until the big boys come back. You just gotta hope, trust, and believe.
Gotta believe.